Once again, thank you for joining today. Good afternoon. My name is Chris Maley. I'm the Vice President of Operations with Property Panorama. Today, we're going to be going over a full system run through with you, just to give you a little bit of a look at all of the tools that are available to you through your MLS integration with our system. But first, let's go ahead and just give you a little bit of background information about who Property Panorama is and those items that we offer. So we were established back in 2002, and we do have integrations with more than 270 MLS associations. This does lead to over 1 million unique visitors per week to our site. And we are, putting together digital marketing solutions and tools designed to help advertise your listings and your brand online. Ever since we've been in the industry, our mission statement has been very simple, and that's to connect consumers directly to the listing agent. But the reason that you're all here are the tools that are available to you. That would be the fully automated digital marketing platform that we call InstaView. Automatically creates an InstaView virtual tour for each and every single listing that is entered into the MLS. These are automatically created within 1 hour of activating your listing in the MLS. And that unbranded tour is automatically submitted back to the MLS and attached to your listings. So the products in the InstaView suite itself are the branded and the unbranded virtual tours. The unbranded is the MLS compliant that does get attached to your listings. The branded version is for your own personal marketing outside of the MLS. You also have listing flyers, postcards, listing videos, and the digital portfolio, which is the agent landing page. Now, instead of going through all of those additional features on the bottom, it's probably best just to go ahead and dive in and show them to you. So about 1.5 years ago, we did launch our brand new viewer, and it's a lot more image-centric than our previous versions. And it also gives consumers a more direct way to reach out to you and contact the listing agent. As you can see on the left-hand side of the screen on both mobile and the desktop environments. On the right-hand side is the listing details. And then down at the bottom, we have our navigation bar where consumers can actively go through each and every single one of those, which we're going to do right now. First, starting with that contact tab on the left. So this is what consumers are going to see if they click on the contact tab, allowing them to send you an email directly or look at your contact information and reach out to you via phone or however you wish to direct them. They can also be directed directly to your personal website if you have one. On the detail side of things, it's going to be your MLS description along with all of the property features, as you can see on the right-hand side of the screen there. So we just made it a little bit more robust, a little bit more graphic centric to give consumers what they're used to seeing on the various third-party sites. We also included a quick access photo panel. That way consumers can, just look at the images that are more geared towards the features and amenities that they're looking for, so they can get a better look at those still images. We also do have a Google Maps integration that shows exactly where the property is located, as well as any surrounding amenities. The one thing I will say, though, is if you do have a lot listing or if it's a new construction, odds are Google isn't going to have it in their system. For that reason, we do allow you to turn off the Google Maps integration, and I will show you how to do that as we get into the members area. We also have our schools tab and our loan calculator. Both of those allow consumers to see the local schools in the area, as well as see what how their mortgage interest rates and everything would be just from a basic calculator standpoint. Now, you do see a couple extra tabs down at the bottom, including the video, the flyer, the drone, Zillow. Basically, what those are, it's additional media. If you wanted to use that, you can embed it directly into the virtual tour, just like this 3D dollhouse tour. So these are additional items that can be embedded right into the tour itself. Now, if you do have multiple, I would say beyond 3 or gets a little crowded down there. If you have beyond 3 items, we also have the ability to make it a list where they would open in a new tab instead. So both of those options are available, and I will cover that, get into the linking page and showing you how you can adjust the branded versions of the virtual tour. Now, that was a quick walkthrough of just what consumers see from the virtual tour. We also have the ability to create flyers and postcards. These are templates that are built to be MLS compliant for all of your advertising needs. So it's going to have the as of date, when you created the flyer. It's going to have all of the MLS required information. And then you can customize anything beyond that required information. So you can do a price reduced, just listed, just sold. You could even have different features on there. Say you have a pool or a 3-car garage or something of that nature. You can't fully customize that. One thing that we do pride ourselves on is our social media syndication, because we have 2 different options that are available to you. First and foremost is automated social media syndication. And that's going to go to a Facebook business page, an X account, a LinkedIn account, and or a personal YouTube channel. Now, the way that it works is you would opt into the specific service. It's going to ask you to log in under your personal account, and then it will prompt you to give the proper permissions for us to post on your behalf to your respective business pages. Additionally, there is one-click social media syndication available as well. I'll show you where that is when we get in there, but you can see all the different sites that are on that page. Those are the services that we can publish to on your behalf. Again, that is on the one-click basis. So anytime you have a post that's not a new listing or a pricing change, you would want to use that one-click option, because the automated option would handle anytime you get a new listing, anytime you have a price change. And then finally, the last part of InstaView that you do receive that is a lead capturing element is the TurboText sign writer. The TurboText sign writer allows you to place that sign writer at the property. Consumers would text the short code to the 844 number on the writer. You're going to get their information in the form of a lead. They're going to get the branded virtual tour directly to their mobile device. We do have a blank template of that available on the linking page for you, or you can use your own sign writer if you wanted to. You just need to make sure that you use the correct code for your listing and that 844 number you see there. So if you wanted to design your own sign writer, you are more than welcome to. Now, for our site license and elite subscribers, you also do receive the digital portfolio, which is an agent landing page that's going to host all of your active listing inventory. And it's also going to have single listing websites, as you can see on the screen right now. So we just decided within the last year that single listing websites are extremely common in the industry. So we wanted to make those available to our viewers as well, so they don't have to go to multiple sources to see all of that information. As you can see, it also does allow you to put in that neighborhood insights, which we will be covering towards the end of the presentation. But neighborhood insights allows consumers to educate themselves about the area. So demographics of the area, education brackets, income brackets, those type of things, as well as surrounding amenities, how far it is to schools, hospitals, things. But we'll dive into that a little bit deeper once we get to that part of the presentation. Now, the main part of the digital portfolio, again, this is all about you. This is all about you as an agent. You don't have to have listings for this to be a viable tool for you. And the reason I say that is if you don't have listings, it just won't have the listing section involved. So you won't see that My Tours if you don't have any active listings. But it will have the contact me, allowing consumers to reach out to you directly. Now you can see the top of the page does have your phone number. You can fully customize this, the color theme, the phone numbers that are used, the email address that you wish to use as well. Scrolling down a little bit is going to have your full active listing inventory. If you do have more than nine listings, clicking on that View More Tours will take you to a page that's got your full active listing image. Additionally, under each one of these listings, clicking on that More Info is going to take you to the single listing website. We also, again, have that quick access to the loan house. Scrolling down the page a little bit further, your About Me section allows you to put in your testimonials as well as a biography. So, giving consumers a little bit more of a welcome to introducing yourself. And then down at the bottom, that contact form is also available once again. Now, again, that was a really fast run through of the public facing tools. Before we get into the members area, I wanted to go over a few of our most commonly asked questions. And that's, how do I create my virtual tour? So within your MLS, you would select yes during the listing entry for the following options. And that's internet display, IDX, and include InstaView Tour. Now, include InstaView Tour could also be create free virtual tour or include property panorama. It does vary from MLS to MLS. So you would just need to make sure that you do mark that appropriately. So again, this is 100% available directly through your MLS, just by making those options marked as yes. Within 1 hour, your tour will be created and submitted back to your MLS to be attached to your listing. And you're going to receive an email from us with both the branded and the unbranded InstaView virtual tour links for your listing, which leads us to our second question. How do you access your account? Well, that email is one of those portals. It's going to have a login link available to you. Another way you're able to access your account is by using the smart link that's available directly within your MLS. So if your MLS provider is Flex, it would be products and then property panorama. If it's Matrix, links and then property panorama. Now, some of our MLS integrations do have something like a Clarity dashboard or one of the other dashboards that are available. If you do not see it using this navigational path, please check your MLS dashboard. It is most likely there instead. So I'll give you a moment just to look at that really quick to write down the path that you would use for your MLS. And then once you log in using that tool, you'll see a screen that's similar to this on the left-hand side. So you'll see, dashboard, store, account, my listings, statistics, settings, and if you are an admin. So if you are a brokerage admin, you would also see that admin dashboard down at the bottom. But that's only available for admin accounts. Otherwise, it's just going to be top options down to settings and syndication. But let's start off with setting up your profile. You want to make sure that you have your profile picture, your company logo, all entered in. And that is done by clicking directly on the image. So if you do not have a profile picture and it's just going to say profile picture in a block. Same thing here, it's going to say company logo. Click right on that. It's going to prompt you to browse your computer for the image that you want to use. Just make sure you save your changes and you can return back to the dashboard. Once you've done that, a couple of other things that you can adjust would be your phone numbers, your email address, making sure that all of your contact information is correct. That's found on the account tab. But first, let's go ahead and start with this full dashboard here. So again, we've covered setting up the account just by getting these profile picture and company logos in, and knowing that the account page, which is where we're going next, is where you would adjust your contact information. Now, the digital portfolio block up here that has your profile picture and company logo is also where you can edit your digital portfolio, change the colors, change the images, as well as share it. If you wanted to get statistics to see how much traffic you've been getting, that would be the 3 bars here. And then this is just a little bit of information about the digital portfolio and ways. Down below that, you have all of your listing level tools. Now, once again, just like the digital portfolio, this is going to be your 3 most active recent active listings. If you have more, just click on that view more listings button. But let's say you're wanting to work on this first listing here. You see an eyeball here. If it has a line through it, that means it's been marked as private. You just have to click on it to toggle it back to public if you want to make sure that your virtual tour is being seen. It should look exactly as it does on the page right now. The next section is licensed. That means you've been upgraded. If you see upgrade here, and you can purchase an upgrade to include both the branded and the unbranded virtual tours, as well as have the additional marketing materials. Below that, if you wanted to purchase advertising for your listing, you can do that by clicking on that promote button. And then down at the bottom bar, it works a lot like it does for the digital portfolio up top, where you can share, edit, get statistics. And then this is a little bit of a different one. So if you have created a PDF flyer for your listing, this is your default PDF flyer that you've made. So on that share tab, that is where you get all of the different materials for the specific listing to share. So it kind of hosts all of the items that are available for sharing, as opposed to just being able to share in one click, because there are multiple tools down here. Then sliding on down just a little bit further, that sharing and social media. That is going to be how you set up your Facebook, X, and YouTube integrations, and LinkedIn as well. You can access that here or on the left-hand side by clicking on Settings and Syndication. Before we get to that page, because that's going to be up in 2 slides here, let's go ahead and take a quick peek at that account page. This is where you can set up your email addresses, your personal website, your biography, testimonials, as well as your preferred phone numbers. Now, for the preferred phone number, I always recommend making sure it's the top phone number on the list and it's marked as primary. That's going to ensure that it is featured on each and every single branded material that comes out of your account. So just make sure that the one that you want used the most is in that first spot and marked as primary. Once you're done with this page here, we can go ahead and jump over to the settings and syndication page. Now, everything does save automatically, so just going to another page will save it for you. So like on the settings and syndication page, same thing. Mark yes for whichever accounts you want to opt into for your automatic syndication. So Facebook, X, LinkedIn, YouTube, it's going to log you into the account that you are wanting to go to. So Facebook's going to take you into Facebook, ask you to log in, and grant us the permissions. Again, that's going to be anytime you get a new listing, anytime you get a price change. It's going to automatically push to that Facebook page for you. Down below that is where you can opt in and out of our email notifications. The InstaView notifications, those are your new listing notifications. The marketing updates, or if we have any sales going on. Likewise with Adtensify. That's our ad product. If there are any Adtensify marketing updates, if there's a sale going on, that's what that's about. If you have an active campaign running, that's that Adtensify campaign updates. Down below that, you don't need to worry about the easy post. That's something that was actually part of our system. And then unfortunately, due to social media restrictions, we did have to get rid of that one. And that was just because it was a social media scheduler, and they changed the way that social media was allowed to make automated posts through Congress, all that fun stuff. But down below that, probably the 2 most important options, lead notifications. So with lead notifications, they can come to you 2 different ways. They can come to you via email, which is going to be that top option, or they can come to you via SMS, or you can turn them both on. So if you want them to come to your mobile device, you would just select yes here, and then give your phone number down here to that SMS notification number that's slightly cut off at the top. So I tried to make it zoomed in so it's a little bit easier to view on your screens. But yeah, it's that bottom field there that says SMS notification number. And then over here on the right-hand side, say your brokerage uses a different company for your virtual tours and you don't want us to create them for your listings, you're able to make your account if you wanted to. So it's just an option for you should you not wish for the virtual tours to automatically be created and submitted back to the MLS on your behalf. So that is everything on the settings syndication page. Just a really quick run through. Now into the meat and potatoes of InstaView and how you can use your listing level tools. So when you click on that share icon, this is the link page. This is each and every single marketing piece that we create listings. Up top, you can see you have the branded and the unbranded virtual tour links. There's going to be, when you hover over, there's going to be a little clipboard over here where you can copy the respective links, paste those wherever you like. I just know that the MLS, depending on your MLS, typically requires the unbranded to be in the MLS. We're automatically syndicating that for you. Down below that, we have a copy embed code. So if you wanted to place it on your personal website, you are able to do so just by clicking on that copy embed code, choosing the tour that you wish to use, whether it be branded or unbranded, and giving that to your webmaster to put into your personal site. Likewise, on the right-hand side, we have a QR code that you can download. It's 200 pixels by 200 pixels, and it's going to take consumers directly to the branded virtual tour link. Just to let you know, our Pro Flyers automatically do have QR code built into them. So if you're using it for our flyers, you don't need to do so. If you wanted it on other materials, by all means, please feel free to use that as you wish. To the right of that, we do have our one-click syndication. So this is where you can syndicate to X, Facebook, Messenger, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Reddit, WhatsApp, and Tumblr. Now, that's for anytime it's not a new listing or a pricing change if you've already opted into the automatic syndication. So if you had, say, an open house coming up, it's a great time to put out a post on your pages. So you would just click on the icon that you wish to post to, and it's going to go there on your behalf. Down below that, this is where you can create your profiles and your postcards just by clicking on that create/manage button down at the bottom. Once you click on that, it's going to ask you if you want to see one of your already created flyers or if you want to create a new. That will just take you step by step through the whole process if you want to make it a just listed or a price reduced, something of that nature. And then it's going to give you the 6 postcard templates and the 3 flyer templates that are available to build that out for you. Once again, if you wanted to advertise your listing, this is just another location where you can do so to purchase advertising on social media and the web. Down below that is the MP4 listing video. Now, this is what would be shared directly to your YouTube channel if you are opted for automated syndication to YouTube. You also have the opportunity to download the video if you wanted to, say, play it in your office or even have it as a keepsake to give to your clients. Over here is where you can download the TurboText Sign Writer. Now, when you do download it, it is going to be blank, just like the image that you see here. The reason for that is we wanted to make these signs reusable for you. We found that the 2.5-inch mailbox lettering that you can get at any hardware store, it fits perfectly within that window, and it makes it easily usable just by putting new stickers on each time you get a new listing. And then down here at the bottom, this is where you can add those additional marketing tools that you have. So if you have a drone video, a dollhouse tour, anything of that nature, all it has to have is a web address. So put the web link for it in here, give it a title, description, and an icon. This is a drop down and it has about 2,000 different icons you can use. And it has a little search bar so you can search for Facebook or plane or home or link or whatever you want to use at that point. And then finally, the last block here, this is to make sure that it stays public. Otherwise, it's going to hide itself from the tour, but it will still remain in your list and you can turn it on or off as you see fit. If you want it to appear in the list view instead of being at the bottom bar, this is what you would mark off for that. And then finally, if you wanted to remove one of your pieces, you're able to do so just by clicking on the checkbox for the trash can. And all right, so that's a quick look at how to share your materials. Now let's look at how you can edit them. And that's by going to the tour manager, which is that pad and pencil that you saw directly underneath the listing. The first page is honestly kind of boring because there's not much you can do here. This is all data pulled in directly from the MLS. So if you see a discrepancy here, that means it needs to be adjusted in the MLS. So if the price is wrong on this page, that's what we're getting directly from the MLS. It needs to be adjusted there. Within an hour, we automatically update to any changes you make in the MLS. Now, if you look down at the bottom, this is where you see that display on Google Maps. That is where you can turn that integration off if it is that lot listing or if it's an unmappable address or new construction that Google hasn't mapped yet. That just prevents mapping errors from those Google servers just because they don't have the address yet. Otherwise, I highly recommend leaving it on. It's a great tool if you do have a map address listing. On the right-hand side, unbranded description, that is going to have exactly what is in the MLS. Now, the branded and the flyer description, those are the two items on this page that are fully customized. Once you're happy with any of those changes, because those are going on branded materials, it's going to save automatically, and all you'd have to do is click on continue to move on to the next step. This is going to be the new photo editor. You're going to be seeing some changes coming to this in the next 2-3 weeks. And the reason I say that is because we're actually going to have photo editing capabilities in here as well. So for the time being, I am going to show you the current version. So you're going to click on Add Manage Photos. And this is where you can adjust the photo names, the photo descriptions. And now this one, it does cause some confusion. So I want to try to make this as clear as possible. So make this my primary photo. That does not make it the first photo tour. What that does is it makes it the featured image for your social media posts. So if you wanted to use, say, this front view image here, you would click on it and mark that as your primary photo. That's going to ensure that that image is used for each and every single social media post until you change which photo is the. Once again, everything on this page does automatically save as well. Now, we do have a couple of different options up here on the top bar, which include an upload. So if you have photos that are not in the MLS, you can use that upload option, and then create panorama. Create panorama is if you have photos that overlap by about 10 to 15%, you can stitch them together into a panorama. Okay, so I do have a question that came in. Pay to set up the account and do marketing plan postcards, social media posts. So we do not have, I would consider that to be like a concierge service almost. That is not something that we currently have available. It is something that we have kicked around. So it's something that could definitely be in the future. But we do not have that type of concierge at this time. And most of that's because a lot of our tools are set it and forget it. Once you select a default color theme for your tours, you have your profile picture and your company logo in. Your tours automatically post on your behalf. So again, a lot of the tools are fully automated. So that's kind of why it got backburnered, but it's definitely something that I could bring to my team. Right. So let's go ahead and wrap up with this manage photos section. We're going to go ahead and go to the next page. And this is where you can adjust your theme. And this is what I was just talking about, where you can set, the color theme for your tours and make sure that all of your branded materials look, exactly the same to create that top of mind awareness in the branding. So if you click on the change theme, you'll see that you can adjust the header, the footer, the background photo panel, the contact tab, and the details tab. Right now, they're all just a straight black with a 66% opacity letting through 34% of the background image. But you can fully customize each and every single element, including the text on those sections, just by clicking on the block here and using the color picker. Now, if you do have hex codes from your brokerage for the color panels that you use, you're more than welcome to use those. That is available on that color picker as well. Now, this is where things get into that set it and forget it. You can save, and it's going to ask you if you want to save it for all of your future virtual tours. Meaning, if you do that, each and every single new listing that comes in is automatically going to have that color theme applied to it. So we try to make those tours as easy as possible, especially since you get all of that automated posting to Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. We'll make sure that we're, complying with your wishes and getting that color theme applied to each and every single tour as soon as it's created. Once you're happy with that, again, after you hit save, you just click on the next step, which is going to take you to your audio and your photo effects. Now, for the audio, we do have 75 different music selections available to you. However, you can upload your own custom audio. It is going to give you an option to select from if it's a voiceover that you're uploading or if it's music that you're uploading. If it's a voiceover, it's only going to play once and then revert to a music selection. If it's music, it will play on a loop. Now, the one thing that I always throw out there, if it is something, say, like you hear on the radio, you do need to make sure that you obtain the proper permissions to play it in a commercial setting. That can get pretty pricey, especially with BMI, ASCAP. You have to get the licensing to them, and it does get pretty expensive. For that reason, we do highly recommend looking into royalty-free music. Typically, you can find something that's a similar vibe to what you're wanting to upload, and it's at a fraction of the cost. You can get some songs from anywhere from $5 to $20, and that's for a lifetime license. So just look up royalty-free music, and they're going to have thousands upon thousands of selections for you to choose from. On the right-hand side of this page is the Ken Burns effect. So the photo zooms in, zooms out, goes to the next image. If you turn that off, it turns it into a slideshow. So it's just going to slide from image to image if that is turned on. Whichever you prefer, go ahead and make that selection. Then you can go to the final step, which is the preview. This is where you can make sure that all of the changes that you've made are applied. And they're looking the way that you want them to. So that is the full customization of the InstaView virtual tours themselves. And that's actually the full InstaView suite at a quick 10,000 foot view. But before I go on any further, I do want to let you know that there are additional add-ons as well. So beyond the virtual tours, beyond the flyers, the postcards, we also have educational tools for consumers, and that's our neighborhood insights. It provides local content and local demographics. And these are hyper-local, specific to the listing. So if someone, especially if they're not from the area, they can become educated about the average income, employment, income brackets. It provides a lot of consumer sourced feedback of giving those, again, income brackets, population, housing types, different types of household data, levels of education, and even spoken languages in the area. So it does give a really nice breakdown for consumers. Additionally, on the other tab, on the neighborhood side, this is where you get that local content, where you're going to have 18 different location scores, 20 different points of interest categories. And then you also have the varying school districts, but that's not only going to be public schools. It's going to be your private schools. It's going to be daycares. It's going to be post-secondary education. So you do get a full gambit of everything that is hyper local to that property. And you can zoom out so you can get a wider array beyond just the 3 miles around the property itself. And just to let you know, you can see the tabs up here where you have transportation. So you're going to have driving scores, walking scores, how the public transportation is. amenities. It's going to have grocery stores, theaters, all those types of things. Character is going to tell you if it's vibrant, if it's quiet. It even gives you a noise score for the neighborhood. So if it's, if it's got a vibrant nightlight, they'll have local bars and restaurants between both the amenities and the character tab if it has a vibrant nightlight. The nature sports and green areas, there's parks, if there's walking paths, things like that. And then under wellness, it's kind of an all-inclusive category for anything health. So hospitals, clinics, uh, pharmacies, gyms, health food stores, everything all gets nested under the wellness tab there. It just shows you how close you are to any of those types of amenities around you. Now, again, I said this is an add-on. Neighborhood Insights by itself for unlimited listings, it's $22 a month or $225 for the year. Now, if you were to bundle that with InstaView, you're only paying a little bit more, $25 a month, and that's for unlimited listings to get both InstaView, branded and unbranded, and Neighborhood Insights. Likewise, with the annual $250 for the year to give you the full InstaView suite plus the Neighborhood Insights. And then finally, the last add-on that we do have available is AdTensify. So this is where you can purchase advertising space on the web and on social media and put your listings in front of consumers that are actively searching for real estate. And that's the most important part because we're using, their search history, the fact that they're going to search portals such as Realtor, Zillow, Homes. They're looking up mortgage interest rates. We have over 25 different touch points where if they're making those selections in their daily web searches, then we see them as interested consumers simply searching for a home. So you put all of those together and then you place it on the websites that they visit. So you can see on the page now, NBC Sports is showing right up in the top banner, or on the right-hand side there in the news article is right in the active scroll of the article itself. We're never going to bury the ads at the bottom. This is what's called premium placement, and we're making sure that the consumers are actively seeing these ads as they are placed on these sites. Now, you can see a sample of some of the sites that we are on the right-hand side. There's tens of thousands of sites that are within our network. But, with these being some of the more popular names, we just wanted to make sure that these are the sites that consumers will find some of the ads on. But ultimately, it's going to follow those consumers that are actively searching to the sites that they visit. And the most important thing that I do want to throw out there is Facebook is included each and every single ad campaign. So you are getting social media exposure directly through those ads with each and every single listing campaign. Now, we talked briefly about behavioral targeting with, they're showing interest in purchasing real estate just by their online behavior. But we also narrow that down even further by doing geographic targeting. By default, it's a 15-mile radius around the listing itself. You can adjust that to be up to 3 zip codes for a specific city of interest instead if you choose to do so. Ultimately, you are the expert when it comes to knowing the people that are typically moving into your neighborhoods. So we do leave that completely in your hands to decide where you want those ads to be placed. So if you want it to be, a city that's 20 miles away, highly recommend using the zip codes for the specific city of interest. But again, with you being the expert, that is definitely 100% in your hands. But our experts here will also be happy to give you any guidance. Our Intensify team, they're digital marketing experts, and they can definitely help you out in that regard. And then we do have one other aspect of Intensify, and that's our video ads. The video ads are placed within the video shorts on Instagram and on Facebook. Now, these are very similar to the image ads that you just saw, with the exception of they have multiple images built into. So they're going to add motion to these images. That's going to cut to the next image and add motion to that. Creating a video. So it's going to appear in the reels. It even has its own background music that you can select. fully customizable to your needs, including your profile picture, the 5 images that you want to use of the listing itself, background color. You can even adjust the text and tagline that's included up here on the advertisement. And then anything else over on the right-hand side, again, fully customizable to what you want it to be and how you want it to represent you. Just to give you an idea of what it looks like on a device. This is exactly what those ads do look like. They are in the natural scroll. And then I do see a hand raised. Please feel free to use the Q&A or the webinar chat. I will be happy to answer those questions. And then if you wanted to have additional exposure on social media, that is available through Intensify Plus. When you're in the purchase process of purchasing an ad campaign, you will see this down at the bottom of the purchase, where you can add an additional 1,000 impressions to each of the respective services. Now, one thing that we do have coming soon, I already mentioned it earlier, in the coming weeks, you are going to see a different photo editor on the Photo Manager. And the reason for that is not only are we going to be giving you different customization options where you can transform a photo where if it needs to be rotated or if you want to crop an image out, you're able to do so. But we also have AI photo enhancement, or if you wanted to make a photo a twilight, or if you wanted to give it a clear sky, green the grass, or if you needed some item removal from a guard or from a ring, you're able to do so. Now, this is going to be in the coming weeks. You'll be seeing a nice little press release as well as a couple of emails coming out to you just to let you know when these are available to you. We've been in talks with all of our MLS partners, and if something is not allowed within your MLS, it's going to look just like this enhanced option here, where it's being grayed out, and it's just going to have a bar across that says, due to MLS compliance, this feature is not allowed. Because I know, like some areas like Florida, you can't change the position of the sun in the sky. So you probably won't see the clear sky, something of that nature. But again, that's just something that's been made aware to us within the last couple months as we've been working with our MLS partners. But just to give you an idea of how it does work, I would select the option to, let's say, Twilight. Click on it. That's going to change from save to apply. It's going to look just like that. So it does add the clouds to the sky to give it that sunset appearance. That is within 15, 20 seconds. And then let me go ahead and get to this second option. So I know I mentioned a little bit of items like you can do item removal, or if you wanted to virtually stage a room, you're able to do so using that draw option. So I wanted to push the limits on this one. I circled the room here and said that I wanted to add carpet, circled the walls, told them that I wanted to paint it blue, just to see how robust you could get. Well, for that reason, we've actually put it on rails for you. But it did a really nice job. We made it to where you cannot make destructive or additive changes. That way you can still represent the property the way that you need to, but you could virtually stage, say, with a rug instead of carpet, with furniture around it. But you can't do full additive changes or full destructive changes like I did in this instance here. Then really quick, I'll be answering questions here in just a moment. I do have one final thing. On the heels of the AI photo editing, you're also going to have an AI video tool where you can create your own videos. It can take still images, apply video filters to them, like a water ripple. If you had like a swimming pool in the image, it can add a breeze to make the trees sway. It's absolutely fantastic that I've seen so far, just off of our developers' desks. It has not gotten to a testing stage yet, but it's going to be coming on the heels of the AI photo. So since that does cover everything that I had for you, let me go ahead and come over to these questions here. Yes, I will be sending out a recorded copy of the video, and that's going to be coming out I would say most likely first thing tomorrow. But it may come this evening depending on how long it does take me to convert this video over. Great. And I do believe that is it. Yeah. Okay. So I did have another one where it said that my voice was fading in and out. It may have been because I was turning to look at the other monitor. I do apologize for that. Um, and that was that again. That's my fault because I'm running on two different monitors to keep everything running smoothly for the webinar itself. But in closing, I do want to ask each and every single one of you to follow our blog. It's at blog.propertypanorama.com, and you're going to get the press releases and any new products that we have coming up, sneak peeks. That's at blog.propertypanorama.com. We also have our YouTube channel, which has all of our training videos, as well as all of our Tech Tuesdays and Webinar Wednesdays. That's at youtube.com/propertypanorama. And then if you do need any assistance at any point in time, please feel free to reach out to our support team. That's at support@propertypanorama.com. The phone number on the screen, option number 1, is going to be our InstaView support. Option number 2 is going to be for our Edtensify digital advertising experts. Also, we do have a live chat option, the lower right-hand corner of each and every single page of our website. And we are available Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 Eastern. If you do message in after business hours, we will be getting back to you as soon as we can on that following business day. So we do have, like I say, 9 to 5 Monday to Friday. That is Eastern time. So I don't see any other questions coming in at this point. So I'm going to give you back the last 13 minutes that we had. And I'm going to wish you all a very happy and successful rest of your week. And again, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to our team. Thank you. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.